Choose your fighter.
Alright, and we are live. Sorry, I had an unexpected issue. For some reason, OBS doesn't know where to find my Dolphin emulator, so I just had to capture my entire screen. So that's why you're going to see like the window box and everything else in here. Alright. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to one of my favorite RPGs ever. That does not get the recognition it deserves. Actually, you know what? Let's restart this real quick. So I want to see that beautiful intro play. Yes, this game is a game from Monolith Soft, creators of Xenoblade, or the Xeno series, really. And it actually has a lot of the same themes as the Xeno games. Identity, what it means to be a person, acceptance into society, etc., etc. No mechs in this game, though.
No, wouldn't that technically also include Xenogears? Because I know a lot of people jump shift after that game. 2-4 Monolith.
I don't know the exact details, but same company itself, which I know has always had the same like creators, like the main two, Takahashi and his wife.
And left the polluted Inferno to find a future in the sky.
Presented by Namco.
In this world,
Callus. I would lose my mind if Callus ever got in a Smash somehow.
who cares?
Also, fair warning, the voice acting in this game is interesting.
Okay, he's got a mechanical wing on one side.
Actually, it's a big plot point. Okay, so everyone in this world has wings, but Callus was born with one, so he was an outcast. So his grandfather, who was an engineer, designed him mechanical. Yes, everyone has wings in this world.
Kill him. If left alone, he will prove a threat to my empire.
Let us trust the young, who hold the spirit within them.
The struggle alone will fill a great emptiness within you and ease your pain.
How long have you known?
Come on, Kibari! Move it!
Go away!
Our only hope is the long-lost ocean.
Awaken!
I can't take that mask too seriously when he has no expression.
He is a mess.
This looks so derpy. Oh, okay. Spoilers.
Someday you will know who you really are.
I can actually recite this entire opening from beginning to end.
Yo.
Just because I've seen it so much. Hey, new type.
What's up, guys?
Alright. It's time to get started with Baten Kaitos. I actually never beat the second game, which is a prequel to this. But this game I have beaten. One small emulator hiccup. This flashback stuff like this. There's little black lines, but that's it.
You know, I stumbled upon this series by accident, and I was looking up for music, and I heard one song. I was like, "Nope, this is lit."
It has a song in Smash, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Main theme,
wow.
True Mirror.
Oh, I don't know.
They can play on the Xenoblade stage.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's pretty cool.
Looking at this scene now,
Hello?
this is crazy foreshadowing.
May I ask your name?
Alright, and this is what I mean by the voice acting in this game is interesting.
I don't expect much from a game made in the early 2000s.
It's not that.
So that's your name.
For some reason, the audio quality in this game, it sounds like everyone's talking through a filter. But it's terrible to the point where it's endearing and all the fans love it. Like, if they were to ever fix the voice acting, people would actually be mad because it's part of the experience.
So did someone just like fucked up in a recording booth one day and like never bothered to fix it?
No.
I think it's just the equipment they had.
The sequel or prequel fixes this issue, which is actually one of the reasons I don't like it as much. It doesn't have that charm.
Does this have a Japanese option? For
No.
people that just can't stand boy.
Like I said, people love the voice acting because of how cheesy it is.
Come, free us from 1,000 years
My
of
TV's too loud.
darkness, a millennium of
There we go.
solitude and suffering. Beautiful white wings for you.
Also, it's one of my favorite battle systems ever, but you guys won't get to see like the full potential of it in this small stream. Because it starts off simple, but it like gets better way later.
For the world, death and destruction.
It's also one of the most beautiful games on the GameCube, like environmental wise. This is Model really sleeping with his eyes open.
Where am I? My head.
I think the reason I even started this game was just because it's one of those games you always used to see around in GameStop, and the cover was so freaking cool. And the rest is history.
Ah, I see you have awakened. How do you feel?
Who are you? Why am I here?
My name is Larry Kush. I'm the village doctor here at Sebelrai.
A guy named Kush, that's a doctor.
They
Don't
found you
trust him.
lying unconscious
Kush,
in the woods
Kush.
nearby and brought you here.
Oh yeah, I remember now. I was attacked by rock cats. Oh man, how stupid of me.
You're lucky they were only rock cats. They are herbivores after all. It's awfully strange to hear of them attacking humans. The animals in that forest have been acting quite peculiar lately. I'm not sure why, but they're much more aggressive than they used to be. You'd better stay away from those woods. By the way, what do you call yourself? I don't recall seeing you around these parts.
My name's Callus. This is my first time here. Which is why I got lost, I guess.
This game also has a plot twist that I'm not going to spoil, but up to this point I'd never seen a plot twist like it in like any type of media ever.
Callus, is it? Welcome to Sebelrai Village, boy. It
Said the
looks
same
like
thing
you're
about the
quite
ending of
ill to the
Votoms.
head, so I was worried you might have amnesia.
Hello, Kiriko and Wiseman.
Yeah.
But you seem to be fine.
That was a ruse, though.
If you feel up to it, you're welcome to take a look around the
But
village.
that's the thing, I like how
Small
he
farming
pretended
community
to
on
be
the
evil
frontier.
to get to him and then
So, I'm afraid there
freaking
isn't
kill
that
him.
much to see.
That shit was great.
By the way, I left your winglet over there.
People
What
wanted
was it?
him to team up with Evolution Z2, but it's not the route they took.
Quite an unusual design for a winglet, I must say.
Yeah, I can see it happening.
Different from those used by the Empire.
Like,
It was handcrafted. by
I
my
gotta hand it to
grandfather.
Kiriko. He's probably the most intelligent 18-year-old I've
He
ever
was
seen
an
in my
excellent
life.
engineer.
Ah, I see. Your grandfather. Very impressive. And how is he doing?
He died 2 years ago.
Is that so? I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, thanks for the help, Doc. I owe you one.
I might do a proper, like, new playthrough of this someday. Just for the simple fact it's so freaking fun later on.
Actually, I'm not the one you should be thanking.
There's never been another RPG with a battle system like this. Although they changed it up for the prequel, it was still fun, but I still preferred this one.
Mimai is the one who found you lying in the woods and carried you here.
They streamlined it a bit.
I see. Mimai, is it? Well, that should do it. Let's get going.
Alright, we should now be in control of Kaitos. Alright, to give you guys an idea what the battle system is like real quick, it's actually card-based, but it's very fast-based cards.
So, infinitely better Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories.
Yes and no. It's not that simple. So in this world, you can take blank cards and put it on an inanimate object and turn it into a card for battle. So you can take like a fireplace, put in a blank card and use that as like fire in either battle or maybe even a puzzle. And you see in his deck he has 20 cards, he has these like swords and stuff. In battle, he'll get a random hand and you chain cards together and it goes by card attribute like water, fire, the number plays a role, a whole lot of
So
stuff.
it's Mega Man Battle Network, but more RPG-like.
Yeah, you can also defend when the enemy attacks you. So like if an enemy hits you 3 times, you gotta quickly like draw up 3 defense cards. Or otherwise you're taking big damage. Also, you can do special attacks, but you probably won't get to see that in the demo. Not the demo, the short stream we're doing, because I think you only do like 2 attacks right now in succession, but later on you get to do up to like 8 at a time, which is insane.
Oh, they careful. Understand.
I always love how beautiful this place is. Although when I do play this again, like for real, I'll probably use a guide. There's a ton of missable stuff in this game. Like stuff you just wouldn't think of off the top of your head. Like, oh, get this fire in a card and this random item in the card and fuse them together to get this other awesome thing. He's explaining this flower, which is literally a save point. But there's 2 types of save points. This blue one will take you to a church where you can like upgrade stuff, and red ones are just for saving. So let's head to the church real quick. The memories.
So since it's Halloween, I actually decided to play the original Medieval recently.
Not the remake.
Remake doesn't come out until the 25th.
And how is it?
It's okay. Like, it's a 20-year-old game, so you probably won't expect much from it.
I actually forgot about that in this game. I think you gotta get experience, but you have to come back to this church to actually level up. I forgot what class levels are. Alright, let's get out of here. I have no idea how long I'll be playing. I would like to get to like the first boss or something. But it's been probably over a decade, so I don't remember exactly how far that is into the game.
You're the one Mimai saved, right?
Alright, this kid is the perfect example of what I mean by the voice acting sounding like it's through a freaking tunnel.
Glad to see you're up and walking around.
It's so terrible, I love it.
Whoa. Is this him? Her? Mimai? Is this who brought me here?
Uh-huh. Mimai's really cool. He's way smarter than all the drunks you see around here. And helpful, too.
He's way smarter than all the drunks you see around here. As he talks about his baby dolphin thing.
Well, thanks, Mimai. I owe you one.
So is there actually an official story as to why the sound quality for the dub is so terrible?
Don't know. Never really cared to look. Like I said, most people love it.
Because it seems like a very interesting story for a video.
I came to see the
At
ancient
least.
ruins in the woods near here. How about you?
Me? Well,
Also, this is our eventual second part. Remember, Shella.
I have to go. Bye, little guy. See ya, Mimai.
Also, this world is in this clouds. Kind of like Xenoblade 2.
I have a name, you know. C-E-D-R. Cedar. They're crazy, huh, Mimai? Why bother going all the way down there just to see some stupid old ruins? Nobody in this village will even go near those woods. They say it's cursed or something. I hope they don't get jumped by wild animals out there like someone else did.
yeah, really. Ancient ruins in Moongao Forest.
Dorothea unseats Elgar
Why
as the
don't we
most
go have a
popular
look?
Foul Three Houses character, according to Polygon.
I feel like people love Edelgard on design alone, because her character is not that interesting. Alright, our first dungeon. Moonguile Forest. Alright. And now, to give everyone a snippet of what the battle system is like.
I'll roll you up.
So we get dealt a hand. Let's see. And you have 3 cards here, but like I said, I think you only get to do 2 now until we get levels. So the 1 card, 4 card. And if you like it, cards in a number combo, like 1, 2, 3, 4, it gives you like a multiplier in damage. And if you do a double combo of that and like elements, then it gives you more damage. And if you do that and a like big special at the end, then it's like triple damage. But you're probably not going to see all that today.
Loser.
Also, enemies drop cards. And you can customize your deck anytime for any character. Okay. Found a voice card. Got removed it.
Let's get it on.
What's Baten Kaitos? You're looking at it.
Is that all you got?
You can also choose to use your weapon cards as defense, but obviously you can't use them as attack then, so spell system can be pretty deep. Also, this game can be hard at times.
That was...
Okay, got a new sword. Cool. I'll actually put that in the deck now. Let's get rid of the camera. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, in this game, to make money, you don't get money from battles. To make money, you have to take pictures of monsters and sell them. As a kid, I hated that.
Sounds weird.
It is. Makes no sense, but it's a thing.
If you let me take selfies with them, I'll accept it.
I want to put the sword in, but what to get rid of? I'm not even use these green bananas yet. Oh, another thing. Food items or food cards, they go bad. Yeah, they'll turn into rotten fruit. That can poison enemies if you hit them with it. This game seems very cumbersome. Not really. You've been looking at it for like 2 minutes. If I can get through this game as like a 12-year-old, 13-year-old kid, I'm pretty sure you can get through it as an adult. Alright, Shella and them came through this way. Whoops. He tells you tutorials, but I don't need to read all that. I'm gonna slow down this area, actually. Gotta go back to the village, apparently.
Time to party.
1, 5.
This. Yeah.
Also, unsurprisingly, using cards of a different element, not the greatest thing, because they cancel each other out.
This. Not.
New shield. Monolith made this. Yes, they did. Alright, let's head back to town. I really should beat the prequel someday. Someday. Just to say I did. I'll just head back to Cush's house, as we'll call him. Visit the village mayor's house. Okay. Just curious. This is one of those RPGs where if you like look in random spaces, you'll find items. But won't be doing much of that tonight. Where is the village chief? There's like one house in this village. You look village eldery. Alright. He said, don't go in the forest because there's a giant monster there. So let's go back to the forest. Although I feel like this event could have happened before we went to the forest and came back here, but what do I know about game design?
Hello. Let me guess. You're the young man they found and brought in for the doctor to look at, correct?
Alright, old lady, why is your voice so creepy?
I know it's exciting to travel on your own.
What is wrong with her
But
voice?
it's very important to be cautious in a foreign land. Your family must be worried sick about you. The last thing you want to do is worry the ones that love you most. Please, go back to them.
Sorry, lady, family's dead.
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't have anyone to go back to. They're all gone.
I'm sorry to hear that. But if that's the case, you really need to keep your eye, because I know there's someone in this world.
Waiting? Waiting for me?
Yes, indeed. And someone, that someone, somewhere in this world, is living day by day. Neither of you know how important you are to each other. In time, you will come to know. You'll understand. By the way, it's one of my special recipes.
You've attained a Magnus. Shish kebab. Medium.
Oh, thanks.
You're most welcome.
Thanks, creepy old lady. Thing is, I'm pretty sure she's not supposed to be creepy. It's just her voice making her like that. Oh, we found a Dark Flare Magnus in the drawer. Oh, that's right. Shell is a pure magic user, so she uses just elemental cards. Oh, your third-party member, Gabari, he literally fights with giant paddles, like for a rowboat.
Alrighty.
You just kind of go with it.
Let's go have
I think another party member
down
uses
forest,
trumpets.
Shall we? I'd like to check out those ancient.
So they just fight with whatever they find.
villagers seem to have
I
a
guess.
fear
You know, as a
of
kid, I
woods.
really didn't question this,
But
but
I
now that
think
I'm
it'll make
older,
mere
this is
superstition,
really
I
weird.
tell you.
Like Waka's ballception.
Hey, relax. You won't catch
Defies
me
all
off guard
physics.
this time.
Bought his love, bought his life.
It's funny revisiting things from your childhood, because I really never questioned it. It's like, oh yeah, he uses a paddle, not a motor. It's like, why did he use a paddle?
Don't be thinking you can beat me.
Alright, back in the forest. Although it wouldn't surprise me if we have to go to that other place on the right, but we'll see. No defense cards. Not good. You do not want no defense cards when a boss pops up.
This.
Pulling off like a 9-card combo is the most satisfying thing ever, by the way.
That was a pretty.
Small knife. Alright, let's see if this tree is somehow out the way. There's a fly in here, it's getting on my nerves. Yep, tree's out the way.
I'll roll you up.
See, now this is when I start to hate the battle system, because all I'm getting is defense cards. Also, what you just saw me do, you have to be careful with. See, I used a helmet as part of my combo, but it ended up healing the monster. So I literally did no damage to it just now. Learn from Baten. You see, he's a fire monster and I use a water shield, so I took literally just 1 HP damage just now.
Oh shit.
And he's dead.
Time to collect them.
Bamboo shoot. Okay, so to get past this, I need a fire Magnus. I don't know if I even have any blink ones.
Cool.
I'll roll you up.
Also, just like collecting cards in this game, because a lot of the like sword ones Kaitos gets, they just look freaking cool later. It's a shame you don't actually see them like appear in battle, but technology limitations and all that.
I'll roll you up.
With a water sword and take his picture. I'm gonna sell that for money.
Timed.
Oh yeah, I forgot about these. I forgot how these work. There's like constellation cards. I remember they do something like super good, but I never got them all. That doesn't sound good. Well done.
What was that?
I remember this boss now. This ugly iguana thing.
It's you!
I'm pretty sure this is where we get Shella in the party, so yay, 2 people.
So wait, why do they all have wings?
Here it comes!
Everyone in this world has wings. Kaitos was born with 1 wing. His grandfather made him the mechanical one.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Alright. I forgot she says the name of every single spell she uses. I also forgot bosses can block. Asshole. Block. Okay, she has a special attack already. I don't think I do though. Only 8 damage. We're good. Yeah, it's only offensive.
Fire first! On guard!
And some lights. Let's not heal the monster this time. That's gonna hurt.
Wait, the sound quality in the battles actually sounds a lot better.
Yeah, battles are fun.
It's weird.
What's he blocking? I don't remember him blocking through this. Alright, so actually target Shella. Oh. What? Wait, why can I heal the enemy with that? Now I'm like, whatever.
Is that all?
Also, if you ever see me just pick up a card that's grayed out, it's because I'm getting it out the way.
Ow.
I forgot how terrible these beginning game decks are. I think he's low on HP.
It's like the equivalent to a Yu-Gi-Oh starter deck.
Now!
Take his picture to sell it. And we slash his face. Oh. Jeez, no luck, Shella. Oh god, special attack. I forgot about this. Gotta be careful with that. Alright, thankfully this is pretty easy since it's like the tutorial boss fight. If that was a normal boss, she'd probably be dead right now. Quit blocking, bastard. I'm not healing. Hey, he's dead. Yeah, that was just a tutorial boss. The average boss, I would have been in trouble probably.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, we got Kaitos' first special, Blue Storm. Cool. Well, I said I wanted to go to the first boss, but I didn't think it'd be this soon, so
Not
go
bad.
longer.
These fangs fetch a handsome price these days.
Graham. Leon.
My, oh my. Look at what
Oh
we
my
have here.
god.
A load of fresh magnets.
Her friend
This could
just
come
died,
in
and you're gonna loot the bodies.
Wow.
I forgot he was an asshole like this in the beginning.
You're stealing their things? They're my friends,
Look,
you know.
$20.
They were your friends. These won't be doing them much good now. We gotta do what we can to survive, right? After all, I don't hear them complaining. Besides,
You know, I'm
not
kind of
stripping
glad
them bare.
RPG brings that up.
How was your Monster Hunter binge today, Nizite?
Catch.
I haven't really been playing that much, and
I was just
found
telling
the
you playing it.
I found the golden rat thing today, and now I'm fighting the
There's a-
hard-eating
There's a
gorilla.
gold rat in what?
Oh yeah.
Is
Is it hard to be hard?
I fought with other people for the first time on an expedition, but I think it was a bit easier.
Oh, you can only fight in expeditions?
No, you can find an optional quest, but I haven't gotten into it.
Alright, she thought he was handing her their mementos to give to their families. He's like, no, that's just share the loot enough to shut you up.
What? How could you be so... I won't accept goods stolen from my friends.
I really forgot all about his side.
How insulting to the dead.
Kaitos don't
Hey,
give a fuck.
wait. Don't go. Thank you for saving me. My name is Shella. I'm glad you came when you did.
I was in a rough shift and
I didn't fight that thing to save you, Shella. A saber dragon's fangs will fetch me a juicy sum. End of story.
I fought it for the money. Later.
You're from Mira, the city of illusion, aren't you?
Alright, if you're hearing that crackling, that's the emulator. All the like fog or whatever the heck this is on screen. Slowing it down just a bit.
How could you tell?
Because you have a guardian spirit with you. I knew as soon as I saw you.
Oh yeah, Flash, you can see us. So you, the player, technically play a role in this story. You're like his guardian spirit. But not many people can see you.
It said that only the people of Mira can summon guardian spirits to this world.
You seem to know a lot about guardian spirits.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on, what? You actually have physical powers in this world?
In ancient times,
And you don't
at the
really do
threshold
anything. It's
between
just a
this
story.
world and another,
So funny.
souls from both worlds would meet. Their fates entwined. The visiting soul would become a guardian spirit, yet very few were able to hear a spirit's voice, and those bonded with a guardian spirit would receive great knowledge and power. But I'm surprised. I thought that was just a legend. Some old tale passed around in fireside chat.
Well, there's no way of telling if someone really has a guardian. I wouldn't blame anyone if they thought we were just hallucinating or something. Right?
It will be weird though, because randomly he'll like turn to the screen and talk to you.
Huh? Was that voice your guardian?
Although you do play a bigger role later. I won't say how though.
I thought I heard a faint voice in my mind.
You mean you heard his voice?
Although that's one thing, when you're brought up in conversation, the game will just like blank out your name instead of like saying their voice or whatever. So it'll be like you heard his voice. It's really weird.
I did. Just barely, though. So, your name is... I'm Shella. Nice to meet you.
I forgot you too, as a player, can be an asshole with your dialogue choices.
Your voice tickles me.
So yeah, mug him.
Feels strange.
Hey, ever since I woke up at that village, you've been acting kind of funny. That reminds me. Doc Larrycush was worried about amnesia. Like I hit my head or something. Don't tell me you've lost your memory. And everything that happened before that? Is that it? Really? Well, that's good to hear. I was kind of worried, but...
Guess it makes them feel a bit like aliens. The way they talk.
Let's talk about this later.
I mean, they got wings.
This doesn't look like a nice place to chat. I figure you'll remember soon enough.
Hey, Callus. I have to go to the ancient ruins deep in the forest. What about you?
We're headed that way too.
If you don't, but before we leave... Though it pains me to
Thanks
leave
for
you
stopping by.
here, my mission cannot wait.
Ever played this game? Is this before or after the Xenosaga trilogy? 2003. That was around the same time, wasn't it? Or I can't remember the release dates of all the Xenosaga games.
Graham?
But it's 2003.
Leon?
I can tell you that.
Thank you.
Leon and
Pass light
Graham.
upon the
I
dark
barely
and
knew
heavy.
you. Thanks for the
Save
loot,
those
though.
lost in despair. O mighty ocean.
Sweet, $20.
Guide us as we journey through the darkest pit of night.
Oh yeah, I forgot bodies actually disappear.
What were you...
Callus, we should be going.
There's also one of those RPGs where if you leave a screen and come back, the enemies always will be respawn, which can be annoying if you're like having trouble figuring out a puzzle in a dungeon and going back and forth. Alright, Shella's joined the party. I actually never switched out my first 3 party members, because this is one of those games where your backup people don't get experience. One of my pet peeves in RPGs. So I just kept the same people. Alright. I know I have a Dark Magnus for her. Also, let me put Kaitos' special on. Get rid of this stupid helmet. Actually, no. Get rid of the buckler. This on. Cool. Right. So you have 1 dark magic already. Our voice is doing that. Interesting.
He's welcome.
give you an example of what I mean with food in this game, see here I have regular bananas that heal you for 90, but I have green bananas that are freshly picked, which you can't eat yet, but you can smack someone with them as an attack.
That's just rude.
Pretty sure by endgame I had tons, if not dozens, of rotten fruit just sitting there. What kind of turn-based battle system does this have? You will see. It's part turn-based, part real-time, actually.
Time to party.
As you're about to see right now. Or not, because freaking bananas and crap. Take that out. Shield. Bananas, don't need them. Aqua Buster. And see, because she used the same element, she got a, what was that, 13% attack boost? Something. Let's do a Dance of Lights. Actually, no. Okay, I wanted to test something. It's the limit's still 2, even though it's special. Never mind.
Don't be thinking you can beat me.
4, 5. I think by endgame I had Shelly like maybe as a fire and light attacker. I think.
This.
You can see because I got a 2 straight or numbers in consecutive order, 13% attack boost. Shield that. I forgot he can use his swords as blocking.
Fire first! Fire first! Huh. That was easy.
Dang, 3 swords. You've attained a Magnus Flame Sword. Alright. As cool as that looks, I probably won't use that because I have a water sword now and that don't mix. See, if I was younger, I would have put that on just because of how badass it looks. But now that I'm older, I know better. Younger Bao would be proud.
I'll roll you up.
Let's not hit him with fire because it's fire element. That works.
Light air! Aqua first!
Oh yeah, instead of new weapons, Shelly just gets higher level spells that just look cooler when used. I will equip that though. Get rid of this. Need fire this. Cool. Red is darkness.
Ooh, okay.
Alright, you guys see the save point? I can't click on it or walk in it, which is weird. What the hell? So bizarre.
Don't be thinking you can beat me.
Combo that wall. Oh, that's why. It was a freaking invisible wall. That's stupid. Said it before, but these pre-rendered backgrounds are freaking beautiful.
Is this the place? What is it?
Uh-oh. I do not remember this. What the hell? Well, second boss battle time.
You come at last, Wolin child.
He talks.
To the depths of Mount Percial's realm.
How do I not remember a giant talking lizard thing?
Prepare yourself.
Well, boss battle time. Let's go. I love GameCube era water. Just looks so gelatinous.
Is that all? Is that all?
Nice heal damage. As long as it doesn't heal you, then whatever. Actually, no. I'm gonna be smart because our health is low. We heal it.
Here.
Ah, water sword. Hopefully this doesn't. Wow. But it minus 80% damage because he's freaking water as well. Uh-oh. Ain't good. I'm actually gonna wait a turn so I can combo those together. So, get rid of this. Now we're on the defensive.
Is that all you got?
Oh, now you're gonna get it.
Fire
Number
first.
5 fire, number 6 fire.
Fire first.
Oh, he was blocking. Of course he was blocking. Bastard. So did a lot, bro.
This. Whoa!
Let's take it. Ow. Crap. Hopefully I don't regret this. Alright, could have been worse. Oh, I gotta use it, so screw it. 4 damaged. Well, you guys get to see Kaitos' first special.
Mighty sword, fly swiftly as a gust of wind. style. Blue Storm.
That's another tricky thing. I was blocking his attacks, but I didn't have enough for the biggest attack and special. So I was about to say some is pretty in depth, which makes me even more surprised I got this like perfectly as a kid.
Here.
Big Ben. Camera, stab, lovely, it's going for a big attack. Also, since my cards in my deck ran out just now, I'm gonna have to skip my turn to reshuffle the deck.
Is that all you got?
Necessary evil.
Fire first. Light here.
Oops. Drop my controller. Uh-oh. Enemy attacking. Not good. Crap. Alright, Kaitos, you got a new deck ready. Let's go. 1, 2.
This.
Faster. I think he's like staggering from low health, I think. Health, low health, I'm pretty sure I do not have a way to revive anyone right now. Hopefully this is what I need.
First. On guard. Magic. Dance of light.
72. Hey, I think we won. Okay, yeah. Woo. It could have been bad if I had
The
lasted a couple
time
more
has
turns.
come. The gate to R is opening. Behold, the blessing of Malpercio.
He sounds so deadpan for someone dying.
So yeah, it's a living.
He took that pretty well, going by his tone of voice. Also, this dude, he keeps talking about Malpercio. He's the big bad of the game. Surprise, surprise. I'll say the sound effect they have for this glowing card is annoying. Scale buckle and wild strawberry. Required for raising Kaitos' class level to 2. I really don't remember that being a thing. Oh, I think class level is how you get more cards in a combo, if memory serves. I think. It would make sense. So in theory, once I use that, you can now combo 3 cards together. And by in the end game, you can do 8 or 9. Don't remember magical flying birds coming out of there, but whatever.
The gate to R has been opened. Stars, be prepared for the song of destruction.
Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. If you're on YouTube, feel free to subscribe. If you're on Twitch, feel free to follow. It does not cost you a thing. But if you don't mind spending something that'll cost you a thing, feel free to subscribe on Twitch. It helps support the channel.
Stop it!
Yoshio is the name of a cursed evil god from ancient times.
How was I supposed to know? And why do you know all this?
Still not done here? Oh god. The game tanked like 65% because of this. Jesus.
Oof.
Oh, airship. That'll do it. Right off the ground in the game. There's my 60 frames. Oh, what the hell? Where'd they come from? You're all just hiding in the woods this whole time?
Go. You will return what you have stolen.
Alright, this dude, Giacomo, he's like your rival boss of the game. I think he's actually the one that killed Kaitos' family, so yeah, that's a blood feud. I remember his theme being like really freaking sick when you battle him in an actual fight, though. As stupid as he looks. Freaking
No! Let me go!
60 Char-Aznable looking.
Get away from her!
Back of the neck. So yeah, like most RPGs, we're going to jail probably. You know, it's another obscure but underappreciated RPG I played roughly around the same time. It was damn, what's the name? Rogue Galaxy? Yeah, Rogue Galaxy on the PS2. Also, thank you for the sub, Dragonar. I truly appreciate it.
My head. Not again.
All I have to ask, is your name Dragonar a reference to the show Dragonar? You know, it'd be crazy if the new SRW game gets announced and Dragonar's in it.
That'd be pretty dope. How about Zochi though?
Thanks.
Same.
I'll live.
Is that Thursday? I kind of forgot about it.
Oh shit, I think it is Thursday. Was it the 10th or this week?
Actually, you might be right. I can't freaking remember.
They caught me off guard. Looks like they took that shiny Magnus too. I can't believe how lucky I am though. To find him here, of all places. Giacomo. The man who killed my grandfather. And Fee.
Yep, Giacomo killed his family.
Get you, Giacomo. Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. I'll make him pay for everything he's done. Well now, I wonder where they went. We should go back to the village first and ask around about the battleship.
This game does have that trope of the evil imperial place that's technologically advanced compared to like all the villages and stuff you've seen in the rest of the game.
That thing was huge.
But I don't mind.
Someone must have seen it.
Playing Final
or know
Fantasy
something
VI.
about it.
Was it technology that saved them in the end though?
What is it, Mimai? You want to come with me?
I mean, was it really? It was
It's
the
a
power of
flying
friendship.
airship.
It was the power of friendship new type.
No, I meant when they're escaping the giant tower that's exploding.
All right.
Yeah, it was the
You
power
saved
of
my
friendship.
life after all.
It's the power of money, pal.
They had each other, new type. That's all they needed.
I left Shadow behind again.
I want to know how people like back in the day without guides knew about that. It's like, what person thought, oh, I'll just wait till the last second to jump on this?
Kaitos, I'm glad you're safe. It sounded like trouble was brewing over by the forest.
Now I want to replay Final Fantasy VI. I wish there were more hours in the day. So many RPGs I want to play for the first time and replay.
Come talk with the village headman.
Oh,
Everyone's
I feel.
gathered it.
I'm not sure what it was. A strange monster came up from the spring in the forest. It was saying something about Mount Persio.
What was that? Did you say Mount
Okay,
Persio?
this freaking fly in here just attacked me. What the hell?
An evil deity from ancient times. I knew something like this would happen. I thought we told you to stay away from that forest.
But wait.
I wonder if the voice acting in this game is just bad because they picked like an amateur studio. Or not even a studio, just like amateurs.
No more buts, young man.
Maybe the equipment just wasn't compatible with
You
the
and your
game
lot
too,
have
and they just didn't
unleashed
know.
a great evil. Ignorant fools.
Like I said, the second game, Baten Kaitos Origins, is perfectly fine, both in quality and just acting itself.
I believe the other travelers, a young girl among them, also entered the forest. Any news of them?
Oh, that girl. Shella. She was with me. We were attacked by soldiers from a giant battleship. She was captured.
Unfavorable circumstances, to say the least.
Doc, do you know anything about that ship? I have to track it down.
No, I'm afraid not.
If you're talking about that huge, strange ship, I saw it fly towards the city.
It's got the most random idea. After I'm done with this, I might watch a video or two about a Monolith soft game. Like a retrospective from someone I know who did a good job. Just as another means of celebration. This is one guy I know, Resonant Art, who does like really good videos. I think he did a retrospective on Xenogears, if not another video too.
The city! That must be it!
So if anyone
Thanks
cares
so
in the
much.
stream, stick around for that. I might watch it on stream.
Be careful, Callus. Powerful entities seem to be at work. Stay alert, boy.
Thanks, Doc. I will. All right. Let's go get him. You're mine, Giacomo.
One more thing, Callus. It shouldn't take too long. Could you stop by my place?
Your place?
Ooh, what's this? Explosives are piled on the bench. What type of doctor are you? Why do you have explosives piled on the... Okay.
Listen, sometimes the saw just won't go through the bone, so you just gotta blow it up.
Alright, at least there's an explanation. Apparently there was a landslide to some village, so he collected explosives. And wants this random kid he found to go do it for him. Thank you. Asking the important questions. How'd you get explosives on this remote island? That's not what's important right now. Oh, God. Another thing I'm pretty sure just completely went over my head when I was younger. Yes. And this is a convenient tutorial about blank Magnus cards. Take a blank card, take something in the world like explosives, put them in the card, and when you're ready to use them, take it out the card. You obtain 4 blank Magnus. Sure, let's hear the tutorial. Just press the A button, If you want to give a trap essence to someone else, talk to that person. Use the C6 to select the essence you want to give. Of course, once the magna essence has lost usefulness, you can always release it from your blank magnus. Alright, I'm just gonna bring an apple to him. I think I'll actually end this here. Like I said, if you want to stick around, I'm going to be watching a video, maybe even 2 on stream. So why not? It's a celebration, bitches. Alright. Should be ending this here. Real quick. Do we should stop? Yes. I'll honestly say that game has aged pretty well. Of course, besides the voice acting, but we've talked about that. Actually... what was it? Yes, that was his name. I'm trying to remember his name of the YouTuber.
Imagine how
Okay. Put this back on full screen. Alright, so what this video is a analysis of a theme in Xenogears, becoming whole. If this ain't your type of thing, I understand, but I like exploring themes in the games I play, so I'm going to be watching it.
Oh, okay. I just killed a rat and just using the claw shot.
I've never actually killed a monster with a claw shot.
This is the second time this happened to me.
Alright, before I start though, as you can see here, this video will have major spoilers for Xenogears. So, if you ever want to play it, yeah. I've been meaning to watch this, but I haven't, so perfect opportunity.
There's a moment in Xenogears where the player's party enters a grisly futuristic factory called the Soylent System. This sequence is partly a reference to the 1973 film Soylent Green, starring Charlton Heston. But while Heston was a big star at the time, the film wasn't really much of a hit. It's about an overcrowded future in which the government creates a new food source from the remains of human bodies, and 25 years later, when Xenogears came out in the US, critics wondered why such an obscure movie reference would appear in a Japanese RPG.
It's hard to overstate how different the perceptions of that movie are in Japan and in the West.
So that voice you just heard is Patrick Holloman of the Game Design Forum. If you haven't read his Reverse Game Design series, it's an academic analysis of classic video games like Final Fantasy VII and Chrono Trigger. There are going to be links provided in
Oh, you're right back. Use the bathroom.
the description. He's going to be joining me today to provide his expertise on Xenogears.
Glad to be here. So, in Japan, Soylent Green is a foreign sci-fi flick that hardly anyone has ever seen. But because of that, it was kind of cool and niche. In America in 1998, however, Soylent Green was basically a meme. Most people only know the film from the one line that spoils the whole plot.
Listen to me, Hatcher. You gotta tell him Silent Green is people!
And most people who played Xenogears didn't even know that line from the film itself. Many only knew it because Saturday Night Live parodied the film in the 90s, with Phil Hartman playing Heston's part.
Silent Green is made out of people! It's people!
You can imagine how Western audiences of the 90s might have felt like this reference was a little bit strange for a video game.
Strange and obscure references like that aren't only intended to construct a niche experience, one which certainly led to Xenogears' status as a cult classic. They're also essential to obtaining a complete understanding of the game's core theme. Xenogears' mythology was founded on the philosophies of Sigmund Freud, Carl Jung, Friedrich Nietzsche, and Karen Horney, and was also greatly influenced by the work of Arthur C. Clarke. It's filled with reasonably accurate references to the Jewish Kabbalah, the ancient religion of Gnosticism, and even quantum mechanics, but while all of this culminated in a story that is fascinating from an intellectual perspective, it still begs the question, why did the writers want to base their game on these core ideas? What was it they were trying to say with Xenogears?
Oh, my favorite scene.
For those of you who have seen my retrospective review of this game, you probably remember how the video opens up with the symbol of a broken mirror. That symbol is an important one for the game. It represents the shattered psychology of the main character. However, there's also another important piece of symbolism I failed to elaborate on in that video. These two angel figures, each having only one wing. It's this symbol which we'll be focusing on today.
The symbol is first encountered early in the game when the player visits Nisan, which serves as the headquarters for a major religious sect in the world of Xenogears. One of the leaders there explains that these figures are part of the religion's creation myth, which posits that in the beginning, God created man and woman, but left them incomplete. The only way for men and women to become whole is for them to depend on one another.
And the player sees these figures again at another crucial moment in the story. As the party descends into the depths of the final dungeon, they slowly pass a much larger version of the same sculpture. The fact that this symbol appears near the beginning and the end of the story should signify how important it is.
I never even noticed this.
In fact, that symbol doesn't only explain the origin of human beings in Xenogears, it actually...
the statues of the angels in Xenogears in the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
Didn't notice it.
Explains the origin of the game itself. Xenogears was the creation of two Squaresoft employees, Tetsuya Takahashi and Kaori Tanaka. The two met at work and bonded over shared interests in philosophy, psychology, and religion. Eventually, they even got married, and somewhere along the way, they decided that they should write a story together. Takahashi said that he wanted to write about an assassin with multiple personalities. Tanaka said she wanted to write about a woman who gives birth to a new race of human beings. Those two ideas acted as the launching point for Xenogears, and somehow the final script had to get from the birth of a new mankind to the life of a dissociative killer.
They also wanted to put their other shared interests into the story. It had to include ideas from Jewish mystical tradition, Freudian psychoanalysis, Jungian psychology, Gnostic teachings, Nietzschean philosophy, and abundant references to science fiction classics like Childhood's End and Soylent Green. However, the most important thing to note is that Takahashi and Tanaka knew they wanted all of this in the story before they began writing. When it was time to devise the plot, the process worked a lot like a puzzle, except they didn't know what the finished portrait should even look like. Working under such constraints forced them to be creative, and if you've ever wondered why the plot of Xenogears is so original and oftentimes confusing, these constraints played a large role in that.
Step 1 in assembling the puzzle of Xenogears' plot was for Takahashi and Tanaka to figure out what all of those interests had in common. What theme do Freudian and Jungian psychology, Gnosticism, and the Kabbalah all share? The connection that Takahashi and Tanaka made is that all these schools of thought claim to provide a path to...
Hey Sosuke, just got done playing Baten Kaitos, watching this theme analysis on Xenogears. Felt it was the perfect time, and I felt might as well do it.
I think I've seen this before.
towards
This video by
becoming
Resident
whole,
Art?
either in a spiritual or a psychological sense.
I think he changed
now,
the
I want to
name.
state up front that we don't pretend to be experts on Freud or Jung or the Kabbalah. We're just going to look at Xenogears' interpretation of these ideas as they show up in the game.
And in doing that, we're actually going to break down Xenogears' plot into all its individual conflicts. There are a lot of them, but each one gives us a different look at the theme of becoming whole. So if you were ever confused about what exactly is going on in the game, this section will hopefully clear that up for you. But be warned, there are a lot of spoilers coming up. So the full backstory of Xenogears is spread across both the game and its companion book, Perfect Works. That story takes place over an insane amount of time, and to try to make sense of it, we've arranged the conflicts by the time scale on which they occur.
For example, the biggest underlying conflict in the story takes place on a timescale of 10,000 years. In this branch of the story, scientists of a future civilization created the Zohar modifier, a source of unlimited energy. They installed the Zohar modifier into an interplanetary war machine called Deus. When the Zohar modifier was turned on, it connected to a higher dimension and absorbed a being known as the Wave Existence. The Wave Existence is essentially a part of God as he exists in the Xenogears universe. After this happened, Deus became self-aware and rebelled against its creators. Deus' final attack is what we see in the opening cinematic of the game. As a last-ditch attempt to destroy the weapon system and save humanity, the captain of the ship which holds Deus' body activates the self-destruct, blowing Deus to pieces. Over the next 10,000 years, the Deus system tries to become whole by growing and absorbing new biological parts, which are the humans, demi-humans, and monsters that populate the planet. This storyline is a science fiction retelling of the ancient religion of Gnosticism. In the theology of Gnosticism, or at least the parts of it that appear in Xenogears, the material universe is an imperfect place created by accident. An emanation from the spiritual universe entered the material universe as the demiurge, or an imperfect god of the physical world. The wave existence represents the benign spiritual god, while Deus, who holds the wave existence captive and uses it as a power source, represents the corrupt demiurge. The wave existence wants to become whole again by returning to the rest of himself in a higher dimension. Deus wants to become whole by consuming all life on the planet to serve as replacement parts for its body. The conflict between Deus and the wave existence drives everything else in the game.
Not every conflict takes place on this kind of cosmic scale, though. Some of them take place over the course of a single human life. The main character of Xenogears, Fei Fong Wong, was horrifically abused as a child and witnessed the death of his mother firsthand. This trauma eventually results in the fracturing of his mind into 3 separate personalities. One of these is a child frozen in its own mind, the second is the character that the player controls, and the third is a bloodthirsty assassin called Id, whose only pleasure in life is to fight and kill. These 3 personalities are a science fiction interpretation of Freudian psychology. According to Freud, the human mind is divided into 3 parts: the ego, superego, and id. In Fei, these parts each become a personality, and Fei's character arc sees his superego struggle with the id for control over his body. This conflict is eventually resolved after his encounter with his father and the wave existence. His personalities become merged into one whole person. The use of Freud's ideas also emerges several times by way of important character names. Fei's alternate personality, id, is named for Freud's term for the base animal impulses all humans possess. In one of Fei's past lives, his name was Lacan, as in Jacques Lacan, a second-generation Freudian thinker whose work explains this character's transformation into Graph. Fei's mother, Karen, is named after another.
Okay, I didn't know that about Lacan, that he was named after actual Lacan.
Freudian scholar, Karen Horney, who wrote extensively about childhood trauma and how it affects psychological development. In the story, a possessed Karen Wong is the person who inflicted horrific childhood trauma on Fei.
Between these 2 extremes, there are several other storylines and conflicts that operate on different timescales. For example, Fei and Ellie are reincarnated and meet each other across the course of several human lifetimes. In every lifetime, they fall in love, including the lifetime they experience in the playable part of the game. This love story is really important for the structure of the narrative. With all these gargantuan sci-fi concepts and conflicts within conflicts, the love story between Fei and Ellie gives the plot a human dimension. It also gives the player a personal stake in the outcome of the plot. Saving the world and helping a part of God escape to a higher dimension is great, but it has a lot more impact because the player is also saving Ellie at the same time. This storyline is also derived from the game's original constraints. In the plot, Ellie was created by the wave existence as a perfect companion for Fae. This mirrors the story of Adam and Eve from the Old Testament, in which Eve was created as the perfect companion for Adam in paradise. She is a complementary being that made Adam whole.
All right, I forgot.
In fact, Xenogears borrows quite a
frickin'
bit
had
from the Old
sex
Testament
there.
and the Jewish commentaries on it. Faye's original identity, Abel, is straight out of the Old Testament, as is the name of Emperor Cain. The major settlements of the world, like Ava, Kislev, and Shavat, are named after the Hebrew months. The powerful...
Alright, didn't notice that this places were named after the Hebrew monks. Learning new stuff.
Zohar modifier is taken from a mystical commentary on the Bible called the Zohar. Various other objects and systems that appear in the game, like the Katamoni system, Geishia key, and Merkaba, are taken straight from the Bible, Kabbalah, and Hebrew legends.
The idea of the male and female halves of a person becoming whole in one another also appears in the writings of Carl Jung. He wrote extensively about the male animus and female anima, essences which exist in everyone. According to him, each person must accept and develop both the male and female aspects of their own psychology in order...
1 second. Is he asking for water?
Can't wait for Terminator in Mortal Kombat.
In order to become a complete, mature person.
I'll get the game eventually.
Jung's actual theory is a lot more complicated than that, but we're only looking at how Xenogears takes the idea and puts it into the plot. During the second half of the game, the party spends several quests pursuing the anima relics, which align with their gears, making them vastly more powerful, a striking example of Jungian philosophy. A slightly more meaningful example might be Ellie's speech, explaining that her relationship with Faye is what gives her the strength to be the new leader of the Nissan sect. In fact, in one of Ellie's past lives, she was called Sophia, which is the name Jung used for the highest form of the anima.
The rest of the conflicts in the game, which aren't quite as symbolically meaningful, are still built on the theme of becoming whole. This is particularly true of villains. After coming into contact with the Zohar, Lacan was split from his body, spending the next 500 years possessing the bodies of others, waiting for his next reincarnation to be born so that he could become whole by taking that body back.
The Gazelle Ministry, the giant orb of talking heads, is also trying to become whole by returning to their original bodies. They were each destroyed 500 years ago when Graf went to war with Solaris, and their first plan was called the M Project, which involved building gears like Oktsen and Zibzen, which they could use to transfer their consciousness. That plan is set aside when they capture Billy, Rico, and Bart, whose bodies and powers are similar enough to their own to allow direct transfer.
A few other conflicts go the same way. In order to finish rebuilding the Deus system, Miang has to become one with Ellie, who is the other half of her original form. In order to open the ancestral Fatima tomb and some of the doors within Fort Jasper, Bart needs someone else with the Fatima family retinal pattern to complete his missing eye. This can only be done either by Margie or Sigurd, the people who become his family. Then there's the case of Krelian, the game's final villain, who believes he's so damaged and beyond redemption that he has no choice but to literally become one with God.
Xenogears is, to me, one of the best examples in video games of the power and purpose of effective storytelling. At the heart of any story should be a message, something important the writer is trying to say. And that theme should inform every choice made throughout the entirety of the work. Each scene should be providing context to that message, setting the audience up for an emotional payoff. Xenogears accomplishes this with subtlety and brilliance. And despite the fact that the majority of the audience had little to no familiarity with many of the references
if I had one complaint about Xenogears,
most
I
of us
wish
still
it was
felt
made
the impact of that message
a bit
intuitively.
later.
The reason for this is
For
because
the sole
it's part
fact
of
that
the human
dub does not hold up well at all.
Really, G-Shell, that was your complaint, the dub.
The dub was bad, I'm sorry.
There's like literally maybe 2 minutes worth of voice scenes in this 60-hour game. That was your
What?
complaint.
Well,
experience to feel
could have been a little
broken
bit better.
and
That's all I'm saying.
searching for the peace of mind that comes through finding a psychological or spiritual sense of fulfillment. The fact that Takahashi and Tanaka were able to communicate that, despite their audience's general lack of awareness regarding these higher concepts, speaks to their finesse and artistic touch as storytellers. It's honestly inspiring stuff.
I love the plot of Xenogears. It's occasionally convoluted, but the creators clearly had a plan for where they wanted to go, and they really do deliver on all the promises they make at the beginning. But as I've gotten older, it's the underlying message of Xenogears that has impressed me more and more. Takahashi and Tanaka are able to make an original and meaningful comparison between different religions and schools of psychology, and the conclusion they come to, that all these different philosophies and religious beliefs are really just different paths to becoming whole, is as profound a message as I've seen in any game.
Oh, that was an excellent video.
Just want to say thanks again to Patrick Holloman for coming on and helping me out with this video.
I think I might set aside a stream because he has like what is it, 4-part? At least a 3-part like analysis of Xenogears. That's a total of like 2.5 hours. I might set aside an entire stream just to watch all of that sometime. Because he does a good job, as you just saw, explaining why Xenogears is still like just a special RPG in terms of storytelling.
Only had an appearance in this RW.
I'm still hoping for it someday. It's my dream entry.
Oh, it have to be like the main storyline since it's a pretty long game.
I'm not counting Cross Omega either. It's a cop-out.
So, oh, we did it. Yeah, he's there, guys.
Like, nothing in Cross Omega excites me. I'm sorry. Because it doesn't... It's freaking Plants vs. Zombies. With gotcha.
Oh, we did it.
These stories deserve more. Anyways. I think that's all I want to do on stream tonight. Because part 1 of this video is like half an hour. And I'm getting hungry, so I think I'll call it a stream here. Big thanks to everyone that came out. I will be logging off.
See you.
Later.